this video, we're going to have a look at, well, what can we do if the external auditor has raised a non-conformance and we don't quite agree with that. So, welcome, I'm Andrew Thornhill. I'm the Director at IRM Systems, where we've been assisting organisations on their journey to certification over several decades now. Let's come back to our key question today. So number one, yes, it's every certification body, they'll always have different finding categories. They're going to have at least one for conformance, which indicates we have fulfilled or met that particular requirement in the standard. But obviously, yes, they can raise non-conformances where they feel we lack evidence of fulfilling that requirement. Not the end of the world if we receive a non-conformance. It's just a term. We're going to need to take some action on it, and we can start to think about it really as a learning opportunity. The other point to make is if there is a non-conformance raised, we don't lose our certification. It doesn't prevent us getting certification. There's always a time period, usually 2 months, by which we can submit further information and evidence, demonstrate how we conform, and then that non-conformance will be changed to a finding of conformance. To avoid getting in that situation where we feel that perhaps there was other evidence around. We did cover that in another video, is to say with your external auditor or audit bodies to say right up front, can we nominate one person from our organisation's perspective as the main contact person, so that during the audit, if the auditor feels like there's a potential non-conformance, they can communicate that to that contact person immediately. The example we had in a previous video is, sometimes the evidence can be elsewhere. They're interviewing someone in production, perhaps around an induction process. The production manager hasn't got any records. If we as the contact person knows they should be looking for those records with the HR manager, well, we can direct them to that person and avoid that situation. We can't have a non-conformance raised on something that's not actually required by the standard. On occasions, you do see auditors raise a non-conformance on something they'd like to see or they think is good practice, but is not actually required by the standard. So that's the first port of call. If we look at the diagram here, is ask the auditor to show you in the standard where this is actually a requirement of the standard. Number two, again, an auditor can't raise a non-conformance unless there's that objective evidence, which we talked about in a previous video, which is factual, reproducible evidence that actually proves that that's a non-conformance. And again, that's obviously our second port of call, is ask the auditor, okay, if it is required, well, where's the evidence that we're not always consistently doing this? That's, as we mentioned, not in an adversarial way. And number one strategy is, work through that with them. If it is a genuine non-conformance, that's fine. Let's treat it as a learning opportunity, a gap in our system, a potential point of failure. If we action that, then we'll improve our system and be better placed to manage the associated risks. Thanks for watching. We encourage you to subscribe. If you're wanting to improve your knowledge around ISO compliance and management systems, then click subscribe. We've got a whole range of content there to help you.